going on? We're trying to conduct business.
Adult business is happening. Adult business is happening!
Real friends. How many of us?
Hey!
Testing for sound.
And welcome to the podcast. This is We're Not Friends.
Hey!
My name is Sydney.
I'm in.
And
Special guest.
we got a
surprise
special guest. Y'all didn't know about this shit.
We didn't either. Number one original fan.
We've got the OG We're Not Friends podcast fan, number one bitch, best friend, queen of the universe. It is Miss Anna Napariu, soon to be Miss Anna. I can't remember his last name.
Killian.
Anna Killian.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited to be here. There's a lot happening in this one today.
There's a lot going on. Dogs running around like crazy. Ellen just got back. She's switching it up.
But you know, that's what happens when you
That's
guys
life.
are involved in a real
That's what happens to that podcast life.
real raw podcasting.
Oh shit, this is so real.
This is so, like, you guys are here we're on the bottom floor right now. We can only go to the top. That's why we got all these sounds. It's all good. You put this pen down or I'll keep clicking it.
Does that sound good?
No.
Does that sound good? Alright. Enough shenanigans, Sydney. Let's get down to business. Alright, what do we drink? We're drinking today.
What are we
Sydney
drinking,
and I
Ben?
are drinking. Anna's got her own concoction of...
It's an apple teeny.
yeah.
Made with Smirnoff vodka. Smirnoff, drink of choice.
We have
Please sponsor us.
Double Cannon. Double IPA by Heavy Seas. Let's see what their little description is. It's a portion... God, Moon. You can't be doing
She's
that.
chewing on a chew toy.
A portion... Wait. This is...
Oh no, it's up here at the
That's
top on
nothing.
the...
Wait,
Here.
What the fuck is that? That's
It's
not
the-
what I need. Oh, here we go. Hop aromas blast out of this flavor explosion.
Ooh!
Massively dry hopped with a balanced malt sweetness. This irresistible force showcases the power of bringing in the extra artillery.
Wow.
9.5% alcohol. Let's fucking go. Drunk.
We're getting litty, and we're about to take the first sip because we've never had this one. Gonna try it right here on the podcast for all of you at home. Smells good.
Doesn't taste like super strong. I don't think that. Do you?
Oh wow, that's got a really good taste though.
Yeah, that's a dangerous beer.
Can I try it?
Yeah, you can try it.
I'm not a fan of beer, but you know, here
That
we
doesn't
go.
taste like super
That's
strong.
a good story too.
Like
that
that.
time.
I've had regular IPAs way.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't hate it.
I
I
feel
don't
like
hate
that
it.
is like dangerous though. 9.5%.
That is, that's really
And it
dangerous.
does not taste like harsh
No.
at all. That's
There's
fucking
those
wild.
Lagunitas that have like the extra hops and they're like super
Hop
crazy.
Stupid, one of my favorite
Hop
beers
Stupid,
of all
yeah.
time.
And those are
Something
like,
did.
you know you're getting
Oh yeah,
fucked.
those are so good though.
Mm.
But alright, anyway.
Good pick, Ben.
We starting off with some fucking Mimarinos, because Anna's got some, she said. She came prepared. Your lame ass is still sitting there without
Leave.
anything to bring to the table.
I came prepared and I didn't even know that I was going to be on this
Yeah.
until like
And you
an
a
hour before I got
broke
here.
ass bitch,
Not
you
even.
knew this was going down.
Break your fucking phone.
I don't
Do
care, I'm
it.
getting a new one.
Some of us run the social media accounts and edit the podcast.
Your life
so.
isn't that hard. You're fine.
Yeah. This is gonna be a good guess. She's on.
Fuck. Well, I guess I'll just go
Uh,
fuck myself.
I mean, yeah. Alright, so we getting into the Mimarinos?
Also, Anna, what do you think we should call this segment? Because we've been debating on what this segment should be called.
I don't fucking know.
You're an OG fan. Like you need
I
your
already came
input.
up with that idea about the other thing. I don't want to do this.
That's true.
Mimaranis and cheese, or...
Mimaranis and cheese.
That's the only thing I've come up with.
What if we offend our lactose intolerance fans by mentioning
They
cheese?
can go suck it and chug some milk and die, or whatever happens when they, when dairy...
Get like
they just fart a lot. They'll be alright.
Massive diarrhea.
Memeronis and cheese.
Memeronis and cheese. Well, here we are.
Alright. You wanna click that one of the little Asian girl. Maybe you've seen this one, but I just love this one. This one's not gross or anything. This is nice and wholesome.
I saw this.
So I was just casually walking around. Ha! I'm recording! And guess what? Guess what I found in my pocket? Pika pika. Bitch.
I love this video for so many reasons,
Oh,
dude.
that has layers.
Yeah.
That's like Shrek
like-
onion layers.
It's like making fun of the girls making videos in front of in front of the mirror. It's making fun of parents interrupting you. It's kind of making fun of Asian people, but she's Asian, so that's okay. And then she throws in some Pokemon. And that zoom in at the very end. Bitch.
Bitch.
Perfect. Yeah. For anyone listening, all it is just everything you heard, but it's just a little Asian girl saying that in front of a mirror. And when she goes, "Look what I found," she pulls out a Pokeball. Hey, Moon. Stop it. You need a Chilskis.
I just saw that one this morning actually, and I was like dying. I
Oh
watched
my
it like 3 or
God.
4 times.
I love it so much.
So
I was like,
funny.
I had to show this because it's nice. Pika Pika. Bitch.
Bitch.
She just zooms in. It's like, oh my God.
It's a great one.
Yeah, she's making fun of so many different things. I don't know who that girl is, but she's got some swag, man. Oh, man. Alright, you got one? You got
I
one?
do. Hang on, let me make sure my sound is on. It's not.
Finally, someone else showing me one.
Okay, so do you want me to like say anything about it or just show it?
No, you
I
just
just
show
show
it.
it. I don't say
Okay.
anything. I just show it.
Guard here at your beach.
I'm not at the beach. This is a bathtub.
Oh, I've seen,
I see you don't have a lifeguard.
I've seen that one, yeah. I do love that one.
Yeah.
Some
It's,
shitty porn
yeah.
opening. This ain't a beach, it's a bath.
That one I just thought was kind of funny, but this one had me dying. I'm gonna
Oh man,
Have
I've
you
seen
seen
this
this
one.
one?
Oh,
show.
fuck.
Hang on.
Bobby,
Oh wait,
can
hang on.
you want to-
Okay.
Bobby, can you talk to Play Wheels?
You want to hear a station for porn detected, porno ringtone, hot chick amateur girl calling sexy.
No! That's clowning.
Oh my
That is
God.
funny. Dicker.
I don't even know what
what's
he's-
that? Is that an
He's trying to
Alexis
say
or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of those like. I don't
What is
know.
he trying to listen to? I
Digger,
don't.
digger.
What's digger
It's-
digger?
I don't know.
That's funny though. Porn, and it, like it went off, and the parent, no.
Amateur girl.
God,
Girl on girl.
I didn't even know I had that capability to play some. Okay, where's my notes? I need to write that down. It has capabilities for pornography.
It's like that when H3 does that. Ethan's like, Alexa,
Yeah.
give me baby wipes.
Yeah.
Selection for lubricant.
All right, press this one. That one right there. The one with the hand.
One with the hand.
Yeah.
Or wait, which hand? That one or that one?
That one.
That one? Okay.
Not the knife.
Nothing. Nothing.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's so funny.
Whoa. Okay, and also
Hey, we got rid of from the wholesome to the down and dirty like I like.
the account is also called I Post for Clout, which is great. What the fuck? What
I don't know
is
what
that?
is. I have no clue, dude.
So basically, in this video, there's just like some sort of like stainless steel thing, and it's got like
It's
a
like
hole
in
in the middle.
Bathroom or something.
Yeah, it's a bathroom, and the caption says when you hit the right spot, this guy just rapid fire like
Puts his
fingers this hole, and then he removes his fingers, and like about 0.2 seconds later, just water flies out of this thing. So
I have no idea what it is. I just thought it was so funny.
that's crazy. What the
Oh my God.
fuck?
I have a bunch more.
Go off in the shits, boy.
Oh shit! What one should I go for? Let's see. Which one's this?
Entertain the guest.
That one's funny. Oh shit! Oh, I have a gross one. I have a
Oh,
couple, like-
are you prepared for a gross memory now?
Sure.
I have I have funny gross. I have just straight up gross.
Let's do funny gross, because straight up gross is just...
I don't know why I think.
But is it like funny, like Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Nuts? Gross?
No.
I want to see that. Like I tried to
Oh,
find
you want
it.
to see it? Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'll
shoot,
show
I
it to
didn't
you.
post a link for that one.
I tried to find
Oh,
it
I
for
got
like
that shit,
2
boy.
hours and I couldn't find it.
Right there, the one with the cereal.
Wait, where?
The brown
that
like
one right
cereal.
there.
This?
Yeah. Go ahead and hit it again.
Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Nuts.
Holy shit!
Cocoa Nuts.
I hate it so much.
No, it's the best one we've ever done.
He puts the milk right on his ball sack.
Oh,
the most
man.
disgusting. Okay.
Yeah, that's the kind of things you're missing out on when you don't see the videos. Alright, this one's weird, but sometimes I just pick ones because I want to see the reaction from people because it's so weird. So that one with the girl with her face up to someone's like butt.
What? Okay.
I don't remember what she says, but I just remember being like, what the.
I'm so uncomfortable.
What?
I want to know if that's like edited over. I'm assuming.
I think that's real. No, I think it's just like some weird porn thing.
I think they're Russian too, because that's not.
Just
What the fuck?
That hurt
explain
me.
it for people listening.
Dear
I love
listeners.
the videos I come up with, and you have to sit there and tell what it is, because it's always something insane.
So obviously they're on the set of some sort of porno, and there's a woman wearing jeans, and her ass is right in another girl's face, and,
Like up
like,
against.
Literally,
Yeah.
like
her face.
touching the jeans.
and there is a girl with her face right there.
Her mouth is open.
Yeah, her mouth is right. It's just right open, and the woman with her ass in the other one's face is farting. Pretty like it's
I
a
think,
pretty.
I think they could hear the farts.
Yeah.
I think they,
Yeah.
I think they understand that.
And the girl is like moaning.
Oh yeah.
She's taking in the farts. She's just
It's good
taking
stuff,
it in.
man. It's good stuff.
I'm ready to die.
Oh, like,
Sorry, I cannot. That's too much.
That's so gross.
so funny.
That's too much, man.
I have good stuff, man. What's this one? Oh, this one's weird. Press that one with the girl like on the boat or whatever. Like whatever,
Right there.
right next to the.
Oh, that one.
I guess it's and look at her, she's just like.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Where do I find this stuff? I don't know.
Ben's-
It's deep dive.
Ben's a fucking deep dive
I
pervert.
find some shit that's like, why is this on Instagram? Like, that's what I love finding. Like, how is this still on here? We're picking that.
Okay. Do you want to explain that?
Sure. So the still photo that you see before you click on the video is just some girl in a bikini, and like she looks like she's dancing. And you click on the video, and it pans straight over to this guy who's wearing just swim trunks, and his hand is down his pants, and he's jerking it. And then this girl, it pans back up to the girl, and she's just dancing while this guy's sitting there staring at her, jerking it.
But
And
she gives him a look like,
it's in
what
public.
the fuck, dude?
Well, I
But
don't
she
even know if
doesn't
it's
stop.
I don't
I
know
know,
if it's a what the fuck are you doing kind of pose,
I think
or
she's
like a
definitely
like.
looking at him like, dude,
I think she's trying to be sexy for him and do like a little pose, be like,
maybe,
that what you
maybe it's a
like?
little bit of both.
Well, she didn't
Alright.
stop.
All right, I'll
so
give you
uncomfortable.
I'll give you last one. I'll give you a nice wholesome one. This one's not
oh
gross.
wow,
The
a wholesome
street
one.
street
Are you
one.
lying?
No, I'm not. This one that's
The
just a
street?
street. Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of.
What? Holy shit! That kid is so tiny.
He's dope. I love the music, like, coming. And everyone stops like, whoa! This kid's just like, fuck you.
So there is, you're from the point of view of a car going down the road. There's other traffic coming the other way. And all of a sudden this car makes a stop after a moment. And it's a pretty immediate stop. And the other cars in the other lane do the same. And you just see out of the right side of the frame comes a little kid. Looks like it's literally
a toddler,
like
baby.
2 or 3.
Yeah, like a baby.
With a helmet on a scooter.
And
then of course,
yeah.
Burning. Yeah.
That's good. That's some wholesome shit.
That was a wholesome
That's
meme.
a good one.
That was a good meme-aroni.
I had those 2 wholesome ones, but I was like, I had to throw in my nice little flavor in there too, the weird ones.
I'm glad you finally got to see Cocoa Puffs Cocoa Nut.
Me too, because I honestly have been searching for that since I heard the episode, and I was
Cocoa
really
Puffs?
upset that I couldn't find it.
Man, that one's my favorite of all time.
I googled Cocoa Puffs Cocoa Nuts like a couple times.
Yeah, I don't know how you would really find it other than just...
Man. And once again, this is a shout out to that guy. If you somehow end up listening to our podcast, we want you on. We want you on.
Oh, is the Spider-Man one? Have we aired that one yet? The Spider-Man?
No, I don't think we
Oh,
did.
shit.
Oh, wait, or did we? I think we did. Never mind.
You know what we're talking about if you did. I think that
Oh,
was
wait,
the
no,
last one.
it was in the last one. Never mind.
Maybe
Never
we'll-
mind. Gotta
Show
see
it
that
to
one.
you, maybe. Do you want to see the one with the girl with the banana and then the guy throws up? Have you seen that one?
I haven't seen that one. Didn't you talk about that one?
Yeah, click the banana one just so you can see it. It's so much funnier if you see it. You can click it for the sound if you want.
I can tell that you've been kinda. Oh, I made a mess. I can tell that you've been kinda. Oh, I made a mess.
That's so gross.
It's so nasty.
Oh my
It's
god.
like, I mean, it's nasty enough. This weird bitch. Like, oh,
This
God.
weird bitch.
And I just like, he totally just like shit on her with that. Oh, yeah, I love it. That's what makes it so good. He's just like, you're stupid. I'm making fun of you.
Oh man.
Anyway. Oh, yeah,
Alright.
the Spider-Man thing. Should we show her the Spider-Man? I mean, this is going to come out after.
Yeah, let's just show
let's
the-
just see.
Let's show her the Spider-Man.
Just click on that one with the fingers, like, doing the rock star.
Oh no. I'm so upset.
I literally, I saw that like, what the fuck? Comes out of nowhere.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's a lot to deal with.
That's on the newest episode that hasn't aired yet, so they'll know what we're talking about when it gets to
They'll know. The folks will know. The people. The 2 other people that aren't Anna.
And I just love it. It's like, he gonna shoot, and then just... I guess she flinches too, like, look.
Oh yeah, this is fine.
Oh, okay. That's the kind of humor we have around here on Memaroni's and Cheese, or me.
I like it.
Fuck. Fine.
It's gotta be, I peg it because it's like, I want to see the shock. I want people to be like, what? Like, it's not funny if you're just like, oh yeah, that was funny. It's gotta be like, what the fuck? It's gotta be like,
it really does.
literally like, oh my god. It's not gonna be funny to listen to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gotta be shocking.
Ben's got them shocking memes.
Shocking memes. Memaroni's and Cheese. Shocking you since 2017.
So anyway.
So that's how we start the show, you know. Number one
It's
fan
a little
knows.
warm up. Little
Yeah.
warm up. Little sexy warm up.
So we need to just get into the guest.
Get
The
into
you know,
the origin stories.
the origin stories of like, how did you? I don't know. When did you guys even know each other? Did you know each other until
Sophomore
college,
year.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, even that. Oh.
Oh.
Whoa!
Sophomore year, right? Freshman year?
I think it was freshman
Freshman year.
Yeah.
But we weren't like friends yet.
No, but we had met. And
That's right.
It was kismet. It was meant to be.
It was
Meant for us
upsetting.
You
to
didn't know it yet, but we were
be in the
gonna
Kinghorn showers together.
Stop.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Sexy details coming out, and we're not
Gone
friends.
sexual?
Gone sexual.
Kissing prank?
Sexual.
Clickbait? Yeah. Yeah.
We can't just mention like, oh yeah, we met and
We'll
we're in the
get
showers
to it.
and not-
We'll get to it.
not
Yeah.
get to it.
It comes later in the story.
Yeah, it's later. It's much later.
When did I first actually meet you?
I remember that day.
This dickwad that we were both friends with at the time.
You know the
He
dickwad.
who should not be named.
He who shall
Yeah.
not be named. Yep.
Was my only friend in college because I didn't really make friends because I didn't want to. I was afraid to. And then I'd known him since kindergarten, so I had to deal with that for like most of my life.
That's
Anyway.
crazy.
We're so sorry.
I kind of want to get onto that. We can talk about that later. I want to know more about that. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, we always got food in Neuer on Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. It was taco day. Probably Tuesday. No, it was Wednesdays because I thought that was weird. Anyways.
Taco Wednesday.
So we'd always get tacos, and he said, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my friend Sydney. Is that cool?" And I was like, "Fuck no," but I was like, "Sure," because I didn't want to say no because I felt bad. And then I actually met her, and I was like,
We're
"Oh,
on the
she's
same
kind of
page
cool,"
here,
but
like-
I'm fucking terrified. Like,
Everyone didn't want to fucking meet me.
No, it's just like a
fine.
new person. I don't want to fuck with that. Like it's just.
Was that the first time? Like first
that was
time?
the first time I ever saw you,
Oh,
ever.
it was. Ooh.
other than pictures that he showed me of you.
I thought it was that time that or he who shall not be named. Ooh, little whoops. Hey, Reed,
Just
Reed?
bleep it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reed, can you add a bleep
Put
in there?
Put a funny bleep over that. Put
Put a
something.
toilet flushing.
Garbage cans rattling, or someone going Voldemort or something.
But yeah, I thought because the two of us had been waiting at the gym, sitting
No,
in
that
the.
was not the first time, but that was probably the first time you actually remembered me because the first time you actually met me, I looked like shit, so it was probably not noticeable.
No, okay, I
And I
remember
had
that.
like bright ass pink lipstick on, and then I met Sydney. I was like, I feel stupid for wearing this.
And you were having roommate problems that first time I met you,
That's
and
right.
that's why I didn't remember. Is because I just was like, wait a minute, who is this girl? Because you were wearing like that second time you were wearing like your Marilyn Manson
And
shirt,
my hair was down,
and you had
I
your
looked
leggings. Yeah, you would like, and you looked.
Nice. I was in shorts.
Cute.
Thank you.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, because I was like.
Well,
really
you know
excited
what?
about
You
it.
looked cute, and I remember telling he who shall not be named, "Wow, she's beautiful."
And then
And he was like, "Yeah, I know." I was like,
and then-
"Okay, the fuck."
Duh, dumb bitch. Like,
No, because he told me about this, and he goes. I remember he. I don't know if this actually happened, but he told me that he told you. You should tell her that. And he probably said. It
Oh
like that.
yeah, he did.
he probably said it like that too.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. Yeah.
You should tell her that.
And he did it in that way where it was like, oh my god, this is like a charity act right now. Like you should tell her that to like
Make
as
her feel
charity.
good about
It was
herself.
it was just like I mean, if I want to tell her later, I'll just be like, hey, wow,
Hearing
like
other
you look
people
really.
not like this person makes me happy because I never
Hope
liked
you're
him
listening,
from the beginning.
bitch.
And I just didn't know how to. I'm like, well, I'm stuck with this person because everyone's like seems to be cool with this fucking shenanigans, and I'm like, this person's insane. Like, why am I the only one that sees how fucking douchey this? And so
You were probably living in
I
an
knew-
episode of
I
Black
knew
Mirror.
a long time ago, but I didn't have any other friends.
yeah, I was just like, that's what I was telling. I was like, I didn't like coming around when, and I was like, Sydney probably thought I hated her and hated her dating Ellen and stuff, and I was like, I wasn't the problem. It was just like this other dude was around. I was like, I can't handle all this. Like, but anyway, besides the point. Continue with your guys' stories.
But yeah.
And then that was for setting up for the drag show.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did that, and then I almost said their name. That person who should not be named left. Oh yeah, because that person had to go do something else. It doesn't matter. And then you either asked me or I asked you, I don't know, to get dinner at Woodworth, and either way, I was terrified. I was like, oh no, I have to sit and talk to this person. And we did, and I felt super uncomfortable the whole time. But then after that, I feel like we were friends.
Yeah.
And then all of sophomore year,
It was all
'cause that
Woodworth
was the
dinner.
end of freshman year.
Yeah. It was all Woodworth dinner after that, bitch.
Yeah, we went to Woodworth like every day.
Yeah.
And
There
we
you
became
go.
really close, and we hung out every day. And then last year, I was super busy, and I didn't see enough of you. And then this year, I'm trying to rectify that. It's fine.
We got the shit.
And
We got
that's
the shit on lock.
But like, yeah, we've been best friends ever since.
Hey.
It's been really dope. It was kind of one of those things where it was like, obviously, when we met each other, we were going to be friends.
Yeah.
And then having that awful, terrible person
Well, yeah.
in the
that's
middle
thing.
of our lives.
Strengthened us
That's what I'm
because we
saying.
were both
He
like,
fucking kind of just blocked everything. 'Cause everyone's just like
But-
kind of uncomfortable. It's like just fucking stupid shit was happening.
But
you
to
know
put
what
a
I mean?
positive spin on it at the same time, he came into our lives and he all gave us different things. Like, he gave me Anna, and then he gave me Ellen, and then
he gave me Sydney and Ellen.
our relationship after that strengthened because now we're making a fucking podcast.
Which we
And
will
then I
quit if
only
you
am
don't
friend-
come prepared next time.
Fuck off.
That's always
I'm
like she
done.
said. Like she said before it started. Your threat always is we're gonna quit. Well, cause it's a real threat, bitch, and we're gonna stop. You gotta come prepared. You gotta come ready. You gotta
Okay.
come with material, with content.
Ben's literally like North Korea, where it's like, oh, we'll bomb you, we'll bomb you.
Okay, the difference between
Will
me and
you
North
bomb
Korea
me?
is I'm fucking ready, son. I got the gats on deck. I'm ready to hit these streets. Those boys ain't ready. I'm ready.
After this podcast,
Gah,
North Korea
gah, gah.
bombs us.
What was it? Like, the guy in the mirror. That's me. I'm that guy.
Okay, well, cheers then.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, since me and Anna have been BFFs forever since then, do you remember the first time you met Benjamin?
Yep.
Master Benjamin?
I don't know. what the
I
first time-
honestly couldn't tell you a lot about that time other than he was drunk and I was not. And
That doesn't surprise me. Because I remember several times me being drunk and you not being drunk and me being like, oh, hey. Just like,
but
where?
okay, so no. I met Ben in the old Wheeling house.
Mhm.
And I don't really remember a lot about that night other than I had a friend from home with me, Anna.
Yes, okay, the crazy night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was the only one who was sober in that room. That was fun. That's all I remember, and I just know you were there and you were drunk. And
What
you were
like night
talking.
was it though? What were we doing?
There was some crazy shit. Like, there was a bunch of people over trying to play True American, but there was also some like
That was the
drama
first
happening.
night I met Ellen too.
Oh, the True American night?
Yeah.
Was that that's the first time I ever met you?
Mm-hmm. But then my favorite time.
I feel well because I just quick sorry not to interrupt, but I remember that night because it was like we were all trying to play True American, and then Dalton was like trying to change the rules, and we're like, dude, that's not how you play it, and he was like getting mad at everybody, and we're just like, all right, fine, because that was when Ellen was like on crutches or whatever.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and Ellen were partners, and I basically had to like place her on the next step every time, and then of course since it was like Dalton and a bunch of people, they were all like asking questions about like Lady Gaga and stuff, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna really be able to participate because I don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I just remember him like changing the rules, and I'm like, that's not how you play it. And then everyone was just like, whatever, dude, just like let it go. And I was just like, all right. And then it was that was the first time I ever met you.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't think I got there until after you stopped playing that game.
Yeah.
Well, they were still playing. It was just like they were at the very tail
I
end.
think me and
'cause I
Ellen
remember.
like quit. Yeah, because we were just like, this is.
I remember walking in the living room, coming in from outside, and everyone was still like, there was people on the couches and
Yeah.
stuff doing like,
They tried to get us to play, and I was like, no.
there's some shit going down,
I
friends.
didn't know that was the first time I met you.
Mm-hmm. And then my favorite time though is Sydney's coming out party / just a party that was going on.
A banger
I
thrown
know you
in
guys
my
already
honor.
talked about this, so I won't go into too much detail.
Yeah,
but
I remember that. I remember
you-
that the cat.
yeah, I had Rue on me, which I have so many feelings about that, but that's not important.
What?
Rue's dead.
What? What? How?
Well,
When?
Well,
assumed.
Assumed dead because he
He
ran
just, like,
away
ran
and never
away?
came back. And I'm so upset about it, but anyway, it's fine.
What? I did not know this information. Why haven't you told me this?
I just found out like 2 weeks ago.
Did you know about this?
Kind of.
What the fuck, dude? But honestly, it doesn't surprise me because you know how many times I came home and like fished that cat out of the front yard because he didn't know the door was open and he was just like roaming and about to go on the road because you remember we lived on that
Yeah.
Wheeling's a busy ass fucking street.
Yeah.
And
That the whole problem with that was like I wanted to bring in a cat, and I think Stuart had a cat too that he wanted to bring, and he was all like, no cats. Like I think he was even saying I'm allergic to cats, and like Ellen wanted a cat too, and he's like no cats, and then he just goes and gets like multiple cats.
Yep.
I was just like, what the fuck? I remember the time I came back and there was a second cat, and it looked exactly like Rue, and they were sitting next to each other, and I was like, am I in Inception right now? Like, you know what I mean? It's like the Matrix is glitched, and there's like two of one thing. You know what I mean? Like that literally was a scene where there's two cats, and I was like, because I remember Evan was with me, and he goes, there's two cats, and I was like, no, I was like, and we just like, we couldn't figure it out. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then like, later I saw Dalton, I said something to him, I was like, what's this other cat? And he's like, yeah, is there supposed to be two cats? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, because I saw two cats, I didn't know. He's like, yeah, there's supposed to be two. But he like wouldn't explain to me what it was. I was like, so what is this cat? And he's like, it's my cat. I was like, what? Like, he's like, yeah, I just got it. I'm like, you didn't think to tell me that like, your roommates that you got another animal for the house? It's like, we weren't even supposed to have any, really. You know what I mean? He had two. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. I can't believe that cat's dead. I played with that cat all the time.
Well, it's assumed.
Well, yeah, I mean...
It's also likely that because, he was a jungle cat and he just roamed into people's yards, that someone probably just picked him up. Didn't have any sort of identification. They were just like, oh, well, unless someone calls for him, then... If
you don't let your cat go out, it won't go out. Even if the door's open, it'll look out there and it won't. Because my cats at home are house cats.
Yep.
We never let them out, and we always have... And then... So even if you leave the doors wide open, they look out, they won't go out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you letting them do it. So...
Yeah.
It's all about teaching them not to.
Yeah.
But, so, back to meeting you. I had Rue on me, and all that shit that went down happened, and then I still had Rue on me. Mm-hmm. And I still had Rue on me, and you didn't know. And you started talking to me and Sydney, and you were standing up, and Sydney and I were sitting on the couch, and I had Rue in my lap. Like, I think he was inside my sweatshirt.
He was in your sweatshirt
all the time. I'd zip up my hoodie like in it, and he'd be in it like a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then you noticed Rue, and you go, "Holy shit, man! You had this cat the whole fucking time. You're just sitting here chilling." And then you go.
I remember that. Yeah.
And like I don't remember all of it, but I do distinctly remember you talking about like being my friend, even though like we're not close. You're like, I know we've had like we've talked 1,000 times. We've had 1,000 conversations. Ben, we talked like twice, but cool.
I just meant like I've seen you around a million times. That's what I really meant. Like I was just drunk and not getting it across it. But I just meant like, oh, I've seen you around and like we've talked a couple times and I know I haven't really talked to you. I was just trying to be.
Yeah, but like you said, we've seen each other 1,000 times. We've had 1,000 conversations. It's funny because I know exactly how it.
And it was like
Sydney and I like made jokes about it for like a year after that.
The middle point between that too was like him being like, "Oh my god, you've had the cat this whole time," like. And it was almost like he was talking to just us, but also announcing it to everyone, being like,
"Oh yeah, that's definitely
like Anna's just so fucking cool, though. Like
that's definitely
all this shit's going down, and she's just chilling with the cat. Like that's so dope." We talked 1,000 times. We've had 1,000 conversations.
Well, what I really just meant was like, oh, I know you've been around.
Well, yeah.
You haven't whatever.
Drunk Ben was just having fun. He was just.
I was trying to be friendly because I'm not friendly very often, and that's.
Ben is a mean bitch.
I feel like the only times that we've actually really talked, other than maybe today, is when you're drunk. Because the one other distinct time I remember it wasn't 4th of July.
Well, I mean, you didn't come around like a super, like we haven't been around each other like a lot.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But,
it's
like,
usually like a party's going on or there's like a big gathering.
We're not friends Inception style.
Yeah.
But I think it was you guys moved into this house and you were having a party.
Yeah.
Illustrations.
Jesus Christ, I was fucked up during that. No, I don't remember. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
No, that was the time because I was like, I didn't really plan on getting drunk or anything.
Yeah, no,
I
know
it was one
you
of those
didn't.
It was one of those times where people like were just handing me something and I wasn't paying attention. Like it's just like you're just like, oh, I have another beer now, and then all of a sudden I was like, fuck, and then I was like, we're playing this game. Come on, I was like, no, dude, I'm fucked up. Like, I can't play this game. She's like, no, just... And so, I know I came in here and was fucking shit-faced trying to play this game. Like, damn near blackout trying to play this fucking game. And oh, man. Yeah, no, I know exactly what time you're talking about. Because it was literally like... Because it was like multiple people, too, who were just like, oh, here's a beer. And I was just like, yeah, just, like I said, not paying attention, just grabbing it. And then all of a sudden, I was... It was Ellen and
Sam were outside, too, and they were in the car. Oh,
and
yeah,
then
you guys were
and-
drinking Crown.
That's what I'm saying. It was just like a bunch of things were happening, and I wasn't paying attention. And that's the only time I really get like drunk anymore. Is like literally, I could probably count the times I've been drunk since unless,
in 2017.
No, I'm talking about last 2 years. You
Oh,
know what I
wow.
mean? Like a
Yeah.
long time. But I don't get like drunk unless people are like here, and I'm not paying attention. I just grab it and I'm drinking because you're not paying attention. You're just like casually drinking, and then all of a sudden it's like. Fuck, I've had like 7 beers. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like a shot or two, and and then all of a sudden I was like, let's play this game, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna black out right now. I remember being like, dude, seriously, I remember being like, I can't.
But
And
that's
I was
not
just like,
how
no.
you said it.
Well, I just remember I'll be like, no, come on. I was just like, I just remember in my mind it was like, oh
Yeah.
no.
You were like,
And then,
annoyed.
like-
It was funny.
And then we're out here, and I was just like, it was like one of those things where you're like reacting, and then as soon as I do something, like 1 second later, I'd be like. That was fucking drunk as fuck. Like that was so.
There's old video too of it. Like
Oh yeah, there is some. I don't have it. I don't think.
I mean,
I was
at
trying
this
to
point,
like
I was-
mama bear you and try to get you to like play and be a little more sober and like I was like, come on, Ben.
I was
it
trying-
was
yeah.
so
Explain it to
sweet.
you.
It's like the sweetest video too, because she's just like, well, no, like being very understanding of like, I get that you're drunk, man. Like I get it.
I was trying not to play and even be ridiculous in a group of people. I was trying to be that, and then I was like, just play, and I was like, oh shit, dude. Like,
And you absolutely did not mean to, but like you were doing that thing where it was like when you're drunk and it's like I don't get it. It was just like fuck it, like no, it's fine, it's fine.
That's what I mean. I was like trying to be like, just guys, like we can move on. Like I get it that I'm being ridiculous. It was just like it was a weird, surreal. Like I get what I'm doing at the same time, but I cannot stop it. Like you know what I mean? I was like, that's probably the drunkest I've been. Literally, I got really drunk. I probably got pretty drunk at that Halloween party Ellen and I went to eventually, but Ellen wasn't there for that. But still, that was probably the drunkest I've been in like 2 years. Was that time? Like I haven't been that drunk. I don't get like drunk really anymore. Like I don't do that. I just drink a couple or whatever. And even like a year before that, I probably didn't really get drunk either. So that was like, and like I said, it's just because we were like, here, have this. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm just, we're just hanging out. We were like playing games outside. We were eating. I just wasn't paying attention. Also, I was like, shit. And then it was like, oh, now come and interact with everyone you kind of barely know. And I was like, no. No, I just remember being like, I don't want to.
Drunk, full of anxiety. There's a game. There's rules.
Yeah, and then we started playing that one game where it's like you had to think of something in like 5
5-second
seconds.
rule.
And I was like, that was hard. Like,
Yeah.
but like every once in a while I get one and then like way overreact that I got it. I was like, girl, like.
Oh
Oh
man,
my
that was a
gosh.
good night though. That was fun.
It was a fun night, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just like, oh Jesus, I'm way too drunk for this. Like I know.
And those are the 3 main times that Ben and I, other than today, that Ben and I have interacted.
And that's why we're not friends.
And that's why you're here right now. So hey what's up? Yeah. You said what? Because I think you said that before. You're like, oh, the first time we met, you were drunk, and then the next time I met you, you didn't want to say anything to me, and I started laughing because I was like, we've literally talked about that before on the podcast. So like me, like really friendly to people, and then I see him the next day sober, and I'm like, dude, just chill. Like I can't do anything.
Yep. Oh man, yeah, because we talked about when him and someone's boyfriend met.
Was this already uploaded? Because I feel like I know this.
Yeah,
story.
and
That was
I
like-
just thought that'd be funny for you, just because it was like then the next day he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And Ben was
And
just
like
like,
the dude, he like hugged me
that's
and like
me.
all this stuff,
Except-
and I was just like, I still don't know what his name is, but I just remember it was like his girlfriend was,
"Yeah,
and I was just like, dude, you like I just remember being in the living room like, and he's hugging me, and I was just like looking like I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, yeah, I remember we had a conversation yesterday, but you're coming along a little too strong for like the after of a drunk party. Like everyone was fucked up. Like I remember that one. I wasn't even that drunk, but it was just like everyone was drinking, everyone was like smoking. Like it was like a whole.
yeah."
That was one. I don't remember what.
You were
party
just
I
kind
was
of in the mix of it, like
Yeah, I was just
not
in
like
it, and then
crazy,
we
but it was
started-
still like,
We started talking, and yeah,
yeah.
that time I know I was not super drunk, but it was just like, oh, I was drunk enough to be like, yeah, wait.
That was
whatever.
that time that it was like you played Vic Mensa on the stereo system, And I was just like, oh, cool. And I, like, knew the lyrics, and you were like,
Yeah.
what? Sid, you know the lyrics? Like, that's so dope.
I
And it was
remember,
just-
that was the day I was really in on the DJ, because I...
Yeah, you were super
I even DJ'd the
Ben
party
DJ.
until...
Yep.
For like a year or so.
Yep. So we're back from our pee break. Thanks, Reed, you son of a bitch, for nothing.
We in here.
Woo.
Spit some bars, had some snacks.
Bars. We in our cars.
We
know
going
this-
hard.
We know this game named Lars.
Y'all know my dick is large.
Whoa! Spitting truth.
That bitch in charge. Being an English major comes in handy doing that kind of stuff, because then I'm like, oh, that word rhymes with that word.
That's all it's good for. Is just
That's
random,
it. Just making up really terrible random bars that I could never put anywhere. Ever.
You're putting it here right now, so I don't know what you're talking
True
about.
as
It comes
fuck.
full circle.
Guys, if you like my bars, let me know. Let me know how super hot fire that is.
And if you don't like the bars, let her know too, because
Yeah, I want to
you
hear
need
both.
to check that ego a little bit.
Your shit suck, girl.
That's fine. If it does suck, let me know, because I'm just a random white girl who knows a couple of words that rhyme with other words.
She can rhyme charge with large.
Yo, she's incredible. She's got a dictionary.
She's not a rapper though.
I'm not a rapper. But anyway, so I know we did a spooky episode here a while back. And what's interesting is that Anna has some spooky, ooky kooky things of her own
Do you? Oh.
to bring to the
I have a
table.
lot.
Do you? Did we post that episode yet already?
Yes.
I already forget.
It's
I don't
up.
know what.
It's on the
What was
air.
our last episode about?
That one,
Spooky.
And we posted. What's the one we haven't posted?
the one you guys just did before after that
Episode
one.
I
4.
know, but that's what I'm trying to. I don't remember.
Jobs, boy.
Oh yes, I can't remember. All right. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so where do you want me to
Just
start?
tell a story you've had interaction with a ghost or something. What
But
is
I have-
your story?
I have a few, so should I
Tell
Well,
do you
so
want it to be more like
Tell your most spookiest.
the thing with Anna though is that
not all of them are necessarily ghost related?
they're not. Yeah, they're not particularly.
Some of them aren't
ghosts.
really ghosty, really.
Some of them are it's different.
It's yeah. It's
Do you want me to start with the
you
different
got.
ones and go into ghost or vice versa?
probably the different ones, and then
Go
just so
back
that
into
it
ghosts.
adds credibility to your person.
That's fair. Well, you know, if you don't believe this, that's okay because I'm still pretty in denial about it too. So like, whatever. But so when was that? Like 2 years ago? Had to have been
2.5.
like almost 2, I think, because
Yeah, it was 2. Oh wait, yeah, it was 2
About
because
2?
Ella and I were together by that point. So.
right.
Yeah,
That's how she bases all time.
I know.
Is on Ellen time.
it's
Was I with Ellen?
B
was I talking
or
to Ellen?
AE
Was I
before
being-
Ellen or after.
Was I being a bitch to Ellen and not dating her yet, or was
Wow.
I? Ellen's in the back going.
Well, you know
"True."
what? I love and respect her now. So.
Kind of being a little.
That was the sassiest look I've ever seen.
Kind of being a little so and so back in the day.
I love my future wife, guys. I promise.
I don't know who your future wife is because she's my future wife. So this is awkward.
this is
Polygamy's a thing.
Whoa, maybe.
That means no. That's gross.
Polygamy?
No, not polygamy. That specific polygamous relationship would be gross.
Why? Ben and I will just have
Because
a
Ben
dope
is
podcast.
gross.
We just won't fuck each other, and then everything will
I
just
mean, we
be
can't
fine.
fuck each other. It's like whatever. We'll see what happens. It doesn't. It's not. The guidelines haven't been set yet. We'll figure it
Okay.
out as we go.
Okay.
Just like this. We're not friends, but we fuck.
So loud. I'm surprised you didn't accidentally mute. Oh, man.
I'm much more careful.
Okay,
with that.
so I accidentally, he came over the other night, and I accidentally said, because he goes, so what are we going to do? I was like, oh, well, I have Saturday off. He goes, me too, perfect. And I was like, yeah, so we can, like, record, and then I meant to say we can
She goes,
smash
we can
some
get together,
food.
She goes, we can get down and smash. And I was like, we gonna fuck? I literally immediately said that. I was like, whoa! I was like, Ellen, we're gonna fuck on Saturday. Like,
Because normally we, like, hang out, record, and then we go get some food, because, like, he knows I'm the king of smashing food. Like, that's my thing. So I was going to say we can smash some food, but I was super tired.
So you
Like,
just
look,
said,
you
I was
were
laying here in my green blanket, like my sleeping blanket, and I was like, yeah, we can record and then we can like smash. he was like, what?
Just giving her
So-
shit. I was like,
Oh,
oh shit.
So yeah.
oh man.
But anyway, let's let Anna talk about her
Which we haven't done, by the
spooky-
way, so you guys might have to leave for this, hour, 2 hours.
I'm gonna take her with me. I'm not subjecting her
Because
to
I
that.
did it in hour,
Trust
2
me.
hours,
No, no,
3
no.
hours, 4 hours. Boy, you did
Jesus.
it in.
As a straight woman, I understand how disgusting sex is. So
Wow.
I'll take her with.
Go
No.
in.
Disclaimer. I love my fiance, and I love everything that we do together. If you're listening, I'm a virgin.
You made up for it by almost accidentally saying husband, so I think
know.
you get points for that.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, that was funny.
Brett, you're a
You're
king.
trying to just stumble over it, not me too, like, She loves your penis. That's what she was saying.
All right,
No
let's
other
move
penises.
Let's talk about the other thing now.
Which is just as spooky.
Vagina. Is that what you're talking about? Vagina.
no.
No.
The other thing?
Vagina. Okay. My favorite saying about vaginas that I made up. Do you know this one? This is how I feel about vaginas personally. Is slime is fine if it's mine.
That's so good. That's so good. Yeah.
Guys-
Hashtag slime is fine if it's mine. Post it all
Guys,
over all
make sure you
social
tweet
medias.
it. Make sure you tweet at we're_not_friends and you put hashtag
Oh my God.
slime is fine if it's mine.
That is hilarious.
That's how I feel about vaginas.
Anna's like a true ally because that's like the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
All right, so back to the spooky stuff.
Oh yeah, let's get to what we're really. Oh yeah, that's good.
Okay, so
I'm gonna laugh about that for the next 5 minutes. Ignore me. Light up my alley of humor.
okay, I'm fine. Okay, so about 2 years ago.
That sounded really about 2 years ago.
About 2
I
years
got
ago,
it.
I came in contact with some slime that wasn't mine. I was not okay with it.
On the Plant Tight Show.
Okay, so about 2 years ago, Sydney, I was over at Ellen's. I think you were living there at the time, probably.
Yeah, he was.
Um,
He had just moved in.
Rockstar.
yeah, and so Sydney and I and Ellen and somebody else. Is it AJ?
I think so. Yeah.
AJ. We're all listening to bad music together and like dancing around. It's mostly like
Like Miley Cyrus.
My
and-
Jeans and Hannah Montana and just other random shit.
Makes sense.
And so, their neighbor James, you remember James? James would always come over randomly without warning
Yeah.
at very random times. There's no sort of schedule to it.
Oh no.
So, so Ellen and AJ went out on the porch. I'm assuming at
They went
least
to
one of
smoke.
them were smoking a cigarette. And I was about to walk down the hallway towards the kitchen, and I turned back over to Sydney, and I said, I think James is gonna come over. And then not even 2 minutes later, we hear James outside talking.
It was like 30 seconds later.
Was
honest.
it?
Yeah, because we stood there for a second and I was like, oh, you know what? He hasn't come over today. We just kind of stood there and the music was still playing. And you were about to walk over to the bathroom and just be like, oh, okay. And then he was outside because I heard his voice and I was like, holy shit.
And, like, that's just one example, but, like, there have been plenty of times in my life where I know things that I don't know how I know them, which is, a lot of it could be coincidence, but I don't know. I think it's a little creepy sometimes.
Yeah.
And then back to, like, the ghost stuff. Let's see, where do I want to start? My grandpa died when I don't know how old I was. Can't do math, but it was in 2003. And, my grandma, her name is Evelyn, and they got, like, when my grandpa died, she's still alive. When my grandpa died, they got, like, one of the gravestones that have both their names on it, but, like, her, like, death date isn't on there yet or anything, but her name and birth date is on it. And, I'm Orthodox. Well, I don't currently identify as Orthodox, but my family's Orthodox. And they do this thing where, like, after 40 days, you have, like, a ceremony celebration. Not celebrate. I don't know. It's, like, some weird ceremony about, like, how that's, like, when the spirit, like, goes to heaven and is no longer on earth.
Like, after they die? Like
40 days later.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. That's
Yeah.
interesting. It's just like a party, or?
Nah. It's almost like a second funeral, in a way.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never
But, like,
heard
then
of that.
we
That's
all,
very
like,
interesting.
eat after.
We get lit after. No, I've never heard of that.
And my family is, like, Romanian and Serbian, so we always
okay.
we make a lot of, like, the traditional foods, and then everybody who can drink drinks, and then everybody who can't drink also drinks.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
but like homemade, I'm
Never.
talking like homemade, like
Mhm.
moonshine kind of vodka
Yeah.
stuff. It's disgusting. But anyway, so when my grandpa died, and we did that 40-day ceremony, and the priest is there, like, we're all at the gravesite, like, praying or whatever. And
So
they
you go back to the cemetery
to the cemetery.
Wow.
And people are there was a candle that was put in the center of the grave, and it was lit for a while, and like it was lit. Just kidding, it was lit for a while.
She was lit for a
And,
while.
We left some drinks for him.
Yeah.
Turn
Well,
up in
we did
heaven,
used to
What
live
up
bitch.
for the
food.
dead homie, man? Like, come on.
We did used to do that stuff, actually, like pour out drinks, leave food and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, so the candle was lit for a while, so the wax dripped down, and then on my grandma's side, it would like spilled over that way and made a perfect E. And like I said, her name was Evelyn, and I'm not kidding. It was like a perfect capital E. And then we blew it out because we were scared.
Yeah.
And so so that was one of the times that like I'm convinced that was
I've never heard
something.
of that kind of thing though.
That's
like
crazy.
after 40 days though.
Yeah.
Sorry, not to be disinterested in the
No,
E
it's
part,
cool.
but like I have never heard of that. That's interesting.
And I'm pretty sure when you're born, 40 days after you're born is when you are baptized, usually. That's when I was
Really?
baptized.
I'm very interested in that. I'm gonna have to research that.
So that was one of them. And then another one, my mom, she says my birth mom, I don't know, she does not sure, but my birth mom gave me this little, like, ceramic figurine that, like, when you picked it up, it would play music. There was a motion sensor in it, and it would, like, play, like, a little melody. And it stopped working, like, after years of having it didn't work anymore. But then it would start randomly going off, like you wouldn't be near it, and it would start going off in my house, and like it was the scariest fucking thing ever. My mom was convinced. She's like, "That's my grandma."
It's getting creepier that she's saying it. Like, oh yeah, that's the ghost. Like,
God, I can hear your mom's voice too, just being like, "It's my grandma. It's fine."
Yeah, my mom's pretty convinced that every like sort of paranormal experience that she's ever had or that like we've had in the house is her grandparents, because they raised her. But who fucking knows? No offense, Mom, if you're listening. She said
What up,
she's gonna listen
Diane?
to this one, so
yo, lady I've never met.
Diane's a cool,
she's a
cool lady.
Cool lady.
Cool lady.
But so anyways, so that happened, and like that would happen often,
Yeah.
where like that thing, like my mom would be like coming in my room, because like when I was young she would pick out my clothes for me for the next day so I could go to school and get ready and all that stuff, and we'd be in there doing that, and like it would just be across the room and just start going off for no reason. And it did that a lot, but not like every day. It wasn't like any sort of like at this time every day.
Schedule, yeah.
Right, it was just random, but it was always like scared the shit out of me, honestly. And then so there's that one, and then the final one, I often feel like people sit on my bed. Like I'll be laying in bed and I'll feel like that pressure of somebody sitting down. And it happens a lot, and it scares the shit out of me every time, and I'm just like frozen in fear. But the one that sticks out to me the most is I was actually at Brett's house, and I was sleeping in his little sister's room because we weren't allowed to be in the same room. It's
Yeah.
fine, whatever. We still aren't, but who cares?
I mean, if you
Anyway.
can't even talk to
You're
your
getting
parents, that
fucking
makes-
married, you know?
Yeah, I know, but it's fine. It's fine. So I stayed in his little sister's room, and both of his little sisters stayed in one room, and then Brett was in his room and his parent, whatever. So I was in his little sister's room, and I felt that like pressure of somebody sitting down, and like obviously I'm scared, but I'm also kind of used to it because it's happened a few times throughout my life, and like I know it's just gonna go away and it's fine. But something happened that has never happened, which is that I felt it get back up, and the pressure release, and like it stood up again, and I cried. And I texted Brett and woke him up, and I was like, you need to come in here and lay with me until I fall asleep because I can't deal with this. And like after that, it started happening more.
Yeah.
And it still happens. It hasn't happened in my new apartment yet.
I was just about to ask you that because I know you saged it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you haven't yet?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I was
okay.
only going to if I felt like it was necessary.
Huh.
But
That's weird that it followed you to Pennsylvania.
assuming it's the same thing.
Assuming it's the same thing and assuming it's attached to you and knows where you are.
Right.
And can, yeah.
Because Brett says he's never felt, as far as I remember, at least he's never, maybe there was a time. I don't know. But, basically nothing happens in that house as far as I know. So.
Weird.
But stuff happens in my house like that all the time. Like, things will be moved and, like, it's usually in my room, and my parents blame it on the fact that I'm no longer religious, so I won't let, the priest comes and blesses our house every year, but I don't let him bless my room.
What?
Because I just feel uncomfortable about it.
Yeah.
So it mostly happens in my room, and my parents are convinced that that's why.
Still, even if that is the reason why, that's like still like something's happening. You know what I mean? Like that's still like, whoa, that's crazy. Did you? So we've released that episode. So then you heard the story I told about like my aunt or whatever. Have you ever had something like that where it was just like
A feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
But I feel like that's always accompanied with the like feeling of somebody sitting on my bed.
Yeah, that's like they didn't like actually it didn't actually like sit on my bed, like I didn't feel that, but it was like I don't know. Like I said, I have a hard time describing it because it was so strange. It was so unlike anything I felt or whatever, and it just literally just felt like somebody walked. Like you can. Like I can sense, even if I like close my eyes right now and no one said anything, I could sense you guys were like in these positions or whatever. So it was like that. It was like someone just, I could sense someone just walking right up, like literally right up to my face, like right here. I was like, what the fuck? And they just like backed up and I'm like, oh, sorry. Like I said, it was like a weird, like we're actually having a conversation without saying anything. It was a weird, I don't know. And then they realized I was freaking out and they literally were like, sorry, I'll back up. And then I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, I'm just here, just to check up on you. And I was like, okay. And then I just like eventually fell asleep because they like backed up, and it felt a lot like warmer after that. A lot like I don't know. It was crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I've never had it where it got that close to me. Like it's always like been on the bed, but I've never had it like near my face where I feel like it's close.
That was what really freaked me out. It's like it literally felt like right there, and I was like, what the fuck? Well, I was like, oh shit, this thing's up in my grill. So I didn't know what to do. It was weird. So, I don't know.
That's great. Like, I want to know why it was able to come with you to Pennsylvania.
Well, that's assuming that it's the same thing.
That is assuming it's the same thing, but, I mean, if you've had it multiple times in your bed at home, and then the same feeling in
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
It was slightly different.
It was slightly different. But that's also, I mean, that could be indicative of the fact that you were in a different state, in a different bed, in somewhere that was unfamiliar to you, without someone that you loved right there.
Yeah.
Because, like, in your home, obviously, you're more comfortable.
Yeah.
You know.
Hi, Moon.
Moon's being possessed right now by a demon, guys.
She really is.
Speak to us, demon!
No.
It refuses.
She looks like a doe.
Anyway. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
Has there been anyone significant in your life that was
that I was
a
close
young,
with?
like a young woman that passed away, though? Because you said it was Brett's little sister, right?
In the room, like, her room, but she's alive.
Well, yeah, no, I know.
That bitch ain't dead.
I know that, but I like, maybe that's why things were different with
No,
it being her room. It's
beer,
like,
Sydney?
what?
I said, do you want another beer?
Oh, I think you said, can I take a break? I was like, of course you
No,
can.
actually,
Yes, please.
what do you want?
What was the question?
Has there been anyone that has been a young woman that passed away in your family?
No, it's all been old people. No offense to any of my family, but we're all old.
Well, I mean, yeah. That's like a fact, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Like,
you
my
need to go
grandpa
get
died. No, I'm good. Because I gotta drive home after this. My
Queen of safety, guys.
That's me. Oh my god, do you remember that? No, we're not gonna get into that story.
Wait, what?
That one time when, like, I was drinking over at the old house. And, like, I was not drunk. I was just a little tipsy. But Ellen kept feeding me Fireball. And then we realized that I parked on campus and I had to move my car.
Yes, and it was
so-
like daytime. I remember that because I had to follow you there, and you were like, "I'm worried."
Oh yeah, I drove tipsy. I was not drunk and I was totally fine, but like I'd never had alcohol at all in any capacity and like driven a car. And like I didn't have that much at all. But like I had some alcohol. Like at the Wheeling house one time I had like I think it was like 2 shots, and then like an hour later I had to move my car, and I was so upset with myself because I had alcohol and drove.
That was the first time you ever drank?
No.
No. Ellen and I were deep cleaning the Wheeling house, and Anna came over and someone else came over, and then Anna was like, "Wait a minute, I have my car on campus. Like,
so it's the
I
first
need to
time you
move
ever
it."
Drank and like did something like
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't drunk, and I like hadn't had alcohol in like an hour, but I was still felt really bad about myself because I did that. Anyways, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But so yeah, I don't know anybody like. I'm not even close with anybody in my family who did die. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, so I bought this book called Proof of Heaven. And I don't necessarily believe in heaven, but I like... Okay, I'm talking.
The demon is speaking.
Sass.
The demon is speaking.
Anyway, so I bought this book called Proof of Heaven. I haven't read it yet, but I'm working on it. But I know what it's about. And basically, I just like the thought of like hearing other people's stories about why they think heaven is real. Mm-hmm. I'm really interested in that. So, the surgeon guy, like I don't remember exactly what happened to him, but like he died for a little bit, and then he was like resuscitated or whatever. And he like saw this person who was like guiding him through it, but he didn't know who she was. And he found out after he was like brought back, like a little while later, that it was his birth sister who died. Because he was adopted. So, like, that's something that's always... Because I'm adopted, so that's something that's always, like, kind of been a...
Hey!
I'm trying to talk, you little bitch! That's always been, like, a thought, is, like, what if the thing that's following me, like, I've never met...
People you haven't met. Hey, stop!
But
hey.
I am related to in some way.
Yeah. That's crazy to think about, too, because I didn't factor that into the whole ordeal, is that there could be people outside of all the people you know that have found themselves attached to you. And it might even be an attachment that's like, we never got to know you.
Yeah.
You know? Yes, demon?
You have to stop.
What is it that you would like? What do you want from us, demon? I believe in Latin that meant butt scratches.
Jeez, stop. Golly, dude. Anyway, I was hearing everything you said. I wasn't. I know. You know, sometimes when you do something, like people are like, "Oh, you're not." I can hear everything. So,
You're good. You're good, man.
Had to quiet the animal.
She's so sweet.
That's all I got right now. I feel like there's more stories, but I can't think of them right now.
Well, what about that time you were on the airplane you told me about?
See, but I don't know. That could have very well been a coincidence, and I don't necessarily believe that that wasn't a coincidence. But I think it's fun to think it wasn't.
But I mean, just
I'll tell it.
so
Well, now you have to, because I'm like, what are you talking about?
here's a preface, guys. I know I'm a believer in like ghosts and spirituality and like things that cannot be explained by science. But Anna is not the kind of person to go like, oh, like this happened to me. Like, isn't that spooky? Like, give me attention, kind of thing. Like, if something happens to her, it happens. You know, she's not gonna just like say like, oh, this happened to me. So there's been a couple incidences of like having a feeling or having a premonition that was like something's happening or something will happen. Like, you texted me one time, I was walking to class, or like I was getting ready for class, and you were like, hey, so this might just be like completely random,
or
but like
anxiety or whatever.
Yeah, and you were like, just take a different way to class. Just don't go the normal way you go. and I went a different way, and everything was fine. But if I remember correctly, something did happen by the architecture building that was like, there was like a fire somewhere else, but that a bunch of fire trucks drove by that way. And I remember hearing it as I was walking to class that day, so I was like,
Oh, really? You never told me that.
I just remember hearing sirens. I'm pretty sure they were fire truck sirens, but I'm not sure.
Anyways, back to the thing that Ellen, you're Sydney. That Sydney was talking about the airplane was I was on my way home.
Lesbians are all the same, right?
Bitches be the same, am I right?
Ellen, fucking did it again. Sydney was saying the thing about
Wow.
the airplane. So I was on my way home from visiting Brett. My fiance lives in Pennsylvania, and we don't, obviously. So I took a plane to see him, and I was on my way back. And, like, I put my book away too early, and then I was too anxious to get it back out. Because I didn't want people around me to be like, she just fucking put that away. Like, what is she doing?
It's so funny about, like, that kind of thing. It's like, that doesn't matter. No one cares. But at the same
Overreacting
time,
to
when you're,
every
like,
decision.
In the moment, you're like,
Yep.
no. It's funny
So-
that's not funny, but you know why it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
I got you.
So, I was just looking around trying to keep myself entertained while we were, like, landing, which was another, like, 20 minutes, and I was so upset. So then I'm looking around at, like, all the people on the plane, and, like, one of the male flight attendants was like,
Did
his
you just assume his gender? Is that what just happened? I think you guys are getting on me about that.
So-
Anyway, Anna, tell your story.
Can I interrupt you real quick to just school you about gender and no?
So one of the flight attendants was, like, they were all buckled in already, and I was just staring at him, and I don't know why, because, like, it's not like I thought he was cute, because he wasn't. And so, like, cute was not. No offense to this man, but, I was just looking around and, like, for some reason landed on him, and, oh, shit. So then I started, like, because I had been reading something the day before that about, like, mind control. And I just think it's an interesting topic, even though I don't think it's possible.
Yeah.
So I was just, like, trying to keep myself entertained and joking with myself about that. And I was just, like, staring at him and going, like, itch your nose. In my head. And, like, and then he fucking did it. And I was like, oh my god! And, like, I was freaking out, and I was, like, so excited to land, and the first thing I did when I could turn my phone back on was text Sydney and be like, this just happened!
That's funny.
And, like, I just, things like that happen to me all the time where, like, I can't explain, like,
Well,
it
that's
sounds like a coincidence, but then there have been so many coincidences
Well,
where I'm
there's
like, is
like
it
a
a coincidence?
bunch of times, like you said, you're like, oh, James is about to walk in. I feel like that's happened to me a bunch too, where I've been like, I just had like a weird feeling, and I'm like, this is gonna happen. Like one time, I remember one of the most obvious ones was I was leaving my house, and I was like, I'm about to go somewhere, or maybe I was either coming in or leaving. I can't remember now because it's been a while. And like as you've been in my house, like right as you walk in the front door, to the right is the kitchen. Like the door of the kitchen is right there. So I think I was leaving, and I was walking out, and all of a sudden I stopped, and I go, I don't know why, I just, like, I couldn't even, it was almost like my mind didn't even tell me, it was just like, I just, like, stopped, and I was just like, and I go, something's not right, and I don't know what it was, and I just, like, kind of looked around, I was like, something's not right, and I just walked in the kitchen, and it was like, I didn't even look anywhere else, I was just like, I beelined for it, but at the same time, I wasn't, like, making a conscious decision to do it, you know what I mean? I wasn't just saying, like, stop right now, like, it was just like, I just, like, all of a sudden stopped, and I was like, something's not right, and I turned to the left, because I was pretty sure I was leaving, so I turned to the left to go in the kitchen, and I just walked right to the oven, and the gas was on for some reason. Someone, by accident, someone had left the gas on, and I was like, what the fuck? It was, like, one of those weird things, I was just like, what the fuck, and I just turned it off, and I was like, that was really weird, like, things like that happen to me all the time, where I just, like, something weird, like, but it was just really weird that time. I didn't smell anything, because, usually you smell gas. I didn't smell anything, you couldn't tell at all, but I was just walking out, and I just stopped. It was just, like I said, it wasn't even, like, a conscious decision. I was like, what? I turned, walked right to the oven, and the gas was on. I was like, oh, shit, and I turned it off, and I was like, that was fucking weird. Like, it was even, like, after, I was like, that creeped me out, and I just, like, left. I was like, what the fuck?
Holy shit, you could have died.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you were leaving, like, your parents could have died. Like, that would have been fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't remember if anyone was home or anything, but, like,
Wow.
at the very least, the cats could have died. You know,
Yeah.
even if no one was home, the cats could have died. You know, I don't remember the specifics of it. I just remember it being really weird, and I was like, fuck. Like, it was kind of, like, creeped me out. I was like, why did I just stop and do that? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I didn't smell anything. It would be one thing if you're like, it smells like gas, and you walked over, but that didn't happen. It was just, like, literally, it was like you're walking, you're like, like, something else told, I don't know, it was like a weird, like, go this way. And, like, I didn't even know I was, like, walking to the oven when I did. I just walked to the oven, and then, like, the stove was on, and the gas was on. I was like, the fuck? So weird things like that happen to me all the time. Or, like you said, like, oh, I think someone's about to come over. Like, that's happened to me a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, I think of something, and then, like, it happens, so I'm like, no, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, why are you slopping and breathing and snorting into the camera so much today? Or the microphone today?
She wants to be a special guest.
Moon, special guest. Bark, bark. That's all she's got.
That's it right there, folks.
But yeah, that was the only thing on it. I never even thought about that the last time we talked about spooky stuff. That was the one other weird spooky thing. I was like, just like found the gas on it out of nowhere. When I was because that was the other thing. It's like, you know, when you're like you're like, all right, I gotta go somewhere. I'm like beelining out. You know, you're not paying attention to anything, but some reason I just stopped. And I was like,
Yeah.
something's happening. The real thing you should be talking about is how I told you today I've never FaceTimed anyone.
Oh, fuck.
It's a foreign concept to me.
I don't understand. What's the point? Just
What?
One
What's
of the points could possibly be because your partner is 500 miles away and you can't see their face, so you have to FaceTime them so you can see their face more than once every 4 months.
I guess. That makes sense. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people just FaceTime each other just, like,
Because,
just normal. Like, that makes sense. But, like, I know a lot of people just FaceTime.
well, sure, but,
like, instead of a phone call.
do
it's
you love
just
your
like,
friends?
Yeah, but, I mean,
Don't you want to see your friends?
I don't need to. Like, I don't need to see their face like that. I just, like, I mean, because I'm, like, the people I talk to like that, I'm gonna, like, show up and meet up with them.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like face-to-face
I know there's a lot,
interaction.
I guess the long distance thing, but it's just, like, I don't,
But I FaceTime my mom, like, every day.
yeah.
And, like, I see her at least once every other week.
I don't really even talk to my parents if I'm not there.
Oh, I talk to my Brett makes fun of how
I don't
often
talk to
my
anybody.
parents.
I just don't talk to anybody.
No, just no bad.
I don't know. I know I'm weird like that, and, like, I know, like, I don't know. My sister talks to my
You're
parents
just
all
old.
No, my sister talks to my parents all the time. She calls them and texts them all the time, and I just, like, when I'm not at home, I don't talk to them at all. I don't know. It's just, like, I mean, I guess if something major happens, I tell them. And, like, when my, like, mom texts me or something, I respond and I talk to her, but it's just not, like, I don't go out of my way. I don't go out of my way to talk to anybody. It's not just them. I know I sound, like, weird or whatever. I just don't go out of my way to talk to anybody, really. Like, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
but that's just
Crazy
one
to
way to
me.
live, I guess. Just, I mean, for you especially, like, you use FaceTime and Skype a lot.
Yeah. But,
I
like,
get that. No,
I don't
get that.
get not
I get,
talking to your parents. Like, I personally don't get it because I text my mom like, "Hey, guess what I'm having for dinner?"
Yeah,
like,
no. I
Me
think
fucking
honestly,
too!
no, honestly, and I don't mean to make it this. I think it's more of a girl thing, really. Like, girls talk to their parents a lot more. I don't mean to, like, put it in a girl versus guy
that's
thing.
sexist.
Okay, well,
You've triggered the both of us.
well,
We're
because
triggered.
my sister does it a lot, but then, like, I don't do that, and then, like, I know a lot of my guy friends don't do that either. They don't talk to their
Yeah.
parents like that, like, every day like that.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? And even, like, guy friends I have that have sisters, their sisters do it. So it's not like their family doesn't do it. Like, 'cause their sister still does it, you know, and I don't really do it, but my sister still does it. But, so I think it's kind of I think it is kind of like a girl thing. And not even so much, like, you girl thing, but it's like your parents are like, you're the girl thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's more your parents, like, you know what I mean? Maybe not. I don't know.
My
It's more
mom's
your
just
parents,
like my best friend. So.
your parents being more protective and more connected.
I could see that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you get what I'm trying to say. I don't know.
Like
Maybe
my-
that's not right, though. I don't know. Fuck,
Oh,
I'm not a
shit.
girl. I don't know. What's it like being a girl?
You don't know?
What is a vagina? I don't know.
Whose penis will accept the other man's penis?
Yeah.
Where's the clitoris?
Where's it? Is it on the bottom?
This conversation gave me the hiccups.
Yikes.
But, you know, like, my brother doesn't. God. My brother, he. My brother will spend his nights at his best friend's house, and he won't text my parents, like, at all. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm, like, what, 100? Not 100. No, like,
What are you trying to say?
60, 70 miles away from Fort Wayne,
Oh,
you know?
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what you were trying to say by 100 of it.
It's the
I thought you were gonna say I'm like 100 years
it's
old.
the hiccups, guys. But you know, it just I am that far away, and I will like still text my
That's
mom
what
and
I'm
dad
saying,
every
like,
day.
A lot of my guy friends, they don't talk to their parents like that, but I know their sisters do, and my sister does. I don't know. I think it's a little bit different from girl to guy.
Intriguing. That's actually really
And I
interesting.
think it's just more of a protective thing from the parents, like them checking up on the girl more, just because they're a girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more what it is. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm, like I said, maybe I'm wrong with that. But because my mom still checks up on me, but I just said, yeah, I'm cool, and then like that's the end. It's just like a quick, and that's all that there is to it. Because she doesn't check up on me like she does my sister. Like my sister talks to my parents all the time. I know she does, and like she always has through college. And then like when I was all through college, my mom only would be like, "You okay?" Like literally maybe once a week, maybe like once every other week. She'd just be like, "You all right?" That's all I would get. I just get a text, "You all right?" And I'd be like, "Yep, I'm good." She'd go, "Okay." And I remember her talking to like we were with all my family, and my mom saying, she's like, you know, I just check up on him. I just, you know, make sure he's alive and make sure he's okay. And that's, you know, I know he's just. It's not like a thing like she doesn't care, but it's just like she knows I'm just. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like she just knows I'm doing my thing, and like if I really need something, I'll let her know. That's more what it is. She knows if I need something, I'll let her know. And she just checks up a little bit. It's not like she doesn't care. She definitely cares. Like my mom's a fucking psycho when it comes to that. Like you know what I mean? Just like every mom, like oh yeah, whatever. But she knows. But she was just saying like I just remember the one time she's like, I just check up, say hey, are you all right? He says yes, then I just know at least for a little bit, like it's okay, you know, like. But she talks to my sister, like my parents talk to my sister all the time, which is weird. You would think it'd be the other way around because my sister is so. God,
Could you swallow
Jesus.
any louder?
She's not used to swallowing, so she doesn't know what she's doing.
Right there. You got it.
Hey.
I'm trying to get rid of these fucking hiccups so I don't sound like a dipshit. Ugh.
Hold your breath.
I have tried
Hold
that.
your breath!
Hold your breath, plug your nose, and drink water.
And, like, be upside down. God, you can hear that so, No, but you think it'd be the other side. What I was gonna say is you think it'd be the other way around. Just because,
Boom.
like, sister is...
Spooky podcast.
Because my sister's so well established and more, like, got her shit together than I do.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's the other, you know, they check on her more than me. I don't know.
Oh yeah, beer. Drink beer.
Drink?
That'll help. Drink
It's not gonna help. Maybe she has the kind of hiccups where you have them for like years. You know those people? That's one of my biggest fears. We were talking about doing a thing about fears earlier.
Ooh, that'd be a good
A
one.
podcast about fears. That's one I didn't even mention. One of my top 5 fears of me is getting hiccups and they never end. Oh my god, have you seen those Ripley's Believe It or Not where like they've had hiccups for like 7 years? Oh my god, that terrifies me. You know when you
Well, I
get,
have them now. So.
like right now when you have those hiccups that won't go away after like a minute, you know, like it terrifies me. These are never going away. I'm fucking having hiccups for the rest of my life. Like it just, oh my god, it frightens me. That's
Fuck me.
There's another fear I didn't even think of.
Tell Anna about bridges.
I have 2 fears. One is bridges.
What is bridges?
Bridges. Don't you make fun of me! Don't make fun of me and my fears!
What is bridges?
You fucking bitch.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
Never mind. We're not.
What is bridges?
Now I'm laughing at Sydney's laughs while she hiccups.
What is bridges?
I hate you. I hate you both.
Can't breathe.
Reed, cut this out of the podcast. Cut this. Reed,
Keep it in. Keep it
cut
in.
it out. They're being bitches. God damn it.
I'm crying.
Making fun of my fears. It's not funny. God damn
It
it.
wasn't making fun of your ears. It was making fun of how you said bridges.
Bridges. Bridges.
Alright, you guys done now?
No. I'm mostly laughing. I'm hoping that the hiccups will go away.
Well, anyway, if you really... My whole thing is just really big bridges kind of freak me out when I go across them. Just like, I start getting like weird thoughts like, what this fucking thing collapses? Or like, it's not really bridges, just any long thing over water. So like, I was telling...
So bridges.
No, I was telling... No.
No.
No. Like I was telling... Oh wait, if you let me finish my fucking sentence. Like I was telling Sydney... I went to St. Pete one time and it's not a bridge. It's like a highway that's literally over water. It's a highway. It goes for
So
miles.
it's a bridge
It's
with a
not
highway on it.
Alright, whatever. We don't have to tell the story. We're done. We can just
No,
cut
I'm
this,
listening.
Reed.
I'm listening, I promise.
No, it's not really a bridge. It's
It's
literally...
literally just a
it's not.
highway
It's
that was
just-
built
it's literally
over-
a highway. It's just,
Over water.
It's over water and it goes for
It connects St. Pete to Tampa.
and it goes... I don't even know how many miles, like 20, 30 miles. It's long. It's
Oh
really
god,
long.
not 20 or 30. It's like
How long? I don't know how long it is.
8? Maybe 8 miles?
It's long. It feels long.
8 or 9. It's 8. It's the 8
When
mile.
you're worried about it, it feels really long. Let's put it that way. And so it's just like, I don't know. It's just like a weird, like, especially over that, I was like, not so much it was going to collapse, but I was like, what if you just get in a normal, like, fender bender, like, that turns into such a much bigger problem. You know what I mean? Just a regular, like, boom, you hit someone, and then it's like, it's literally, the whole thing's 2 lanes wide. It would just become such a bigger problem. Or what if you're just, even your car broke down? There's nothing to do, like, I don't know. Bridges or, like, things just over water like that creep me out. It's not like I can't do it, like, I can do it, but at the same time, the whole time I'm over it, I'm like, ugh.
Well, and the traffic between Tampa and St. Pete is so terrible,
Oh,
too,
yeah.
that it's like...
It's busy.
Because, like,
You're on it for a while.
jobs are in Tampa.
Yeah.
Jobs aren't in St. Pete, so...
Yeah, it's... I just don't like going over,
Ooh.
like, bridges or
Baba.
just going over water for a long, really time. Not even really water. I guess you can have a... I don't know. Just, yeah. Bridges are like, every time you go to Chicago, you go over at least, like, 1 or 2 bridges. Giant ones. And they're just... I don't know. They freak me out a little bit. At the same time, I can still do it. But, I don't know. I don't know.
I just thought of something really random.
What?
Do you want to count shoulders?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Such a good move.
That was so sexy. Will you take me home?
God.
Take me to your house.
I thought of that when you like reached over behind me to like get Moon.
That's a good move.
If
It's
you
a
were
good cheesy move if you're trying to be like that funny. You're like, hey, that would be funny.
if
That
you
would
were-
be funny. That's my kind of thing, dude.
If you were a pirate, would you want the parrot on this shoulder or on that shoulder?
There we go. Hey.
Now I'm getting some pussy.
Pussy. Ellen's like, what? Ellen can't get nothing.
Oh man.
God damn, dude.
What's your favorite pickup line, Ben?
I don't have any, dude.
You have a pickup
you ever-
line?
I have weak ass game.
Have you ever used a pickup line on a girl?
No.
Are you gonna get
I
mad
haven't.
pussy from these pickup lines we gave you?
Hopefully I'll get mad pussy from this podcast because I don't have no game.
Bitches are gonna be
You
like,
need to go to the bar and be like, hey, I have a podcast. And
Yeah.
then they'll sleep with you.
girls will be like, I'm
I
wet.
hope
Let's
that's
go.
it. No, I've never used a line or anything like that. No. Never done that.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Not even like, oh shit, I have a cool stereo system.
Yeah,
or like,
no, I really haven't. Out of the...
So you're a virgin then?
Yes. We're not friends exclusive. I'm 26 and a virgin.
You're a virgin. No, I'm a Virgo.
I've never. I think the only like time I ever had to like spit some game or anything was like one time. It was like I knew. It was right when I was moving into the Carson house. I'd only been there for like a week. It was like the first week people were there, and I was with Sean. And remember we had. I don't know, you weren't there. Like, we had a couch that we put in the front yard, and we'd sit in and hang out in with me and Sean. And this girl just, like, walking down the road, she just, like, sat on the curb across from us. And I just saw this girl, like, just wandering, and she, like, you could tell she was on her phone. Like, she sat down because, like, there was something wrong or whatever. She wasn't, like, lost or anything. She was just, like, I don't really know what to do. So she just, like, sat down on the curb. I just looked at Sean. I was looking at her. I just looked at Sean. I was like, all right, I just go watch this. And so I just yell at her. I go, hey, what are you doing? And like that's how I just started. I go, hey, what are you doing? She's like, oh, like I'm in a fight with my boyfriend or something. Like she said something like that, and I was like, all right. So I was like, just come over and hang out with us. And we had a keg at the time. This was literally like a week before I met Ellen. So like we had the same keg. So that girl technically got the fresher part of the keg that Ellen got. So I was like, oh, just come over and hang out with us. So she came over and like started drinking with us. That's really all it took. Was just like, oh hey, what are you doing? Oh, we have a keg. One thing led to another. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the only time I ever had to like spit any game. Other than that, I've never like even tried to do anything.
So you put it in her?
This is not that kind of podcast. What the?
Did you give it
It's not?
to her?
What about
Real.
Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Nuts? So you're allowed to show that shit, but I'm not allowed to ask you if you had sex with somebody?
Yeah.
You're right, Anna. Damn.
Yeah. But yeah. It went down. That's what you're asking. It went down.
What about her
Going
boyfriend?
down for real.
What about her boyfriend?
Oh yeah, he probably had a
Fuck
problem.
him.
Yeah, I didn't care. But the thing that was funny is, okay, she's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend. I got in a fight with my boyfriend, and then we hooked up or whatever. And then she got up and left the next day. And then
The next day.
yeah, the next morning she got up and left. And then like a couple months later, it turned out she was like she was the roommate of one of our friends.
Oh.
And I had no idea. I was like, oh my god. Like, well, the thing, she had, like, come over, and I was, like, one of those things where I was like, I recognize that girl. Who is that? Because I hadn't seen, it was later, like, a year later. I don't want to say it was, like, a while later, actually. It was, like, a year later, and I was like, I recognize that girl. Who is that? And I was like, I don't remember. And then, like, whatever, and then the next time came, and, like, she was there, and I was like, oh shit, that's that one girl, and I've already like kind of like hung out with her and not talked to her, and now it's weird because now it's like, do I go up to her and be like, oh hey, you know what I mean? It was just like,
oh hey,
if it had been like
we
that,
fucked.
If it had been that first time, and if I would have went up to her and be like, oh hey, you know, but then it was like I had ignored her kind of like one or two times just because I didn't know who she was. I didn't think I knew who she was, and then it just kind of dawned on me one time. I was like, oh shit, that's that girl, and I was like, oh now I feel really bad.
Yeah.
Because it had been like a year. It wasn't like it was like that close after. It had been at least a year, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh shit, now I feel bad. And she still had, I think she still had the same boyfriend from when that thing. So at the same time, it was like I probably should. So it was probably good that I didn't.
Damn.
So then I think eventually like we were like friends with the boyfriend, and I didn't know they had anything to do with each other or anything. So it was like it was a whole weird thing. Yeah, and it was like it was kind of good I didn't say anything to him or to her or whatever.
Yo, I fucked your girl, dude.
Hey, bro, I fucked your girl, man.
That's the only time I've ever done something like that. It was like,
yeah,
I don't like try to like pick up girls or anything. I was just like the one time. I don't know why I even did that. I was just like, she was sitting there. I was like, I just looked at my room and I was like, hey, watch this. And I don't know why.
Yeah.
It sounds so
just one of those goofy
It
things,
literally
though,
sounded
you know?
so douchey. I was like trying to be funny.
No,
and then it
but that's the thing, though.
It
I
literally
think
turned into something. I was
Yeah,
like,
it's not
I
like
did not
you-
expect this. You know what I mean?
It's not like you did it like, I'm gonna bang this girl.
Exactly.
Like,
It was just like, hey, watch this. Let me just spit some shit to this chick and see if she comes hangs out. Because then the thing was, like, she came and hung out, and then, like, she left for a while. She's like, I have to go meet up with someone. And I was like, all right, well, that's the last we'll see of her. And we're like, oh, well, come back. You know, you say that. You're like, come back, and, like, whatever. And she actually came back.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa! Like, you know what I mean? It's like, she came back.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
You were just trying to be, like, a goof and be like...
I was trying to be funny.
Look
be
what
like,
kind of, like, pussy I can pull.
Let me get... And she was beautiful, though. That was the thing, too. Like, she was gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, you know.
You're just trying to prove a point. Say,
and then
look
at
at
the
the
same
kind
time,
of girls
and
I can
then,
pull.
like, I sealed the deal. I was like, whoa. Like, I have some game, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, Sorry, I kind of pushed this. But yeah, that was the only time I've ever, like, tried to, like, do something. That was the only time I've ever, like, actually been like, oh, let's see if I can hook up with this chick. Like, at the same time, it was, like, I wasn't really trying to do that at the time. But I kind of was, you know.
like when you started, it wasn't like that, but then it turned into that.
Yeah, kind of, whatever. But that's the only time I've ever even remotely done something like that. Try to like spit game with somebody, like literally the one time ever. I don't know. I don't really.
Well, obviously it worked. So was it a fluke or not?
We'll never know
Stay
because
tuned.
it was just a one-off. So I'm at 100% right now. So like, why ruin those odds? That's really like,
True.
Why ruin my stats right now when I got 100% game going? You know what I'm saying? Dude, just like the whole like act of like, just that whole act of like spitting game or like trying to like charm someone up to like that whole idea stresses me out. Like it freaks me out, dude. I can't do that.
I feel like that's one of those things that's expected of dudes, though. Like I know
I
that
can't
you know,
do that.
women we have so many expectations as like just
the whole
looking.
thing is like when dudes go out, they're trying to spit game. They're all trying to hook up. You know what I mean? And
trying
like
to get some pussy.
no, seriously. And
Wait.
like I've been out with a group of guys that like that's their goal. They're going out. They're trying to do that, and like it freaks me out. It literally like gives me so much stress. I'm like I can't. I don't like it. Like I don't know what it like. I can't do that. I literally like just physically can't do that. It's that whole like idea freaks me out. It's so stupid. First off, it's just dumb to me. Second off, I can't. Like I've been to parties, you know, girls come up to you and you like realize like they're talking to you in a more like, hey, maybe we should hook up way, and it's just like at the same time though I'm like, you're so stupid, and I just can't. I don't know. I have a hard time conversing with anyone that I don't have any connection with.
Or doing
So,
the whole like the whole thing where it's like, you're a girl, I'm a guy. Like let's just fucking have a good night.
Just like interacting with anyone that I don't know already is already hard enough.
Yeah.
And then you add on this extra added pressure of like, oh, we gonna fuck, and I'm like, like I don't know. It just literally like gives me so much stress and anxiety. Just like that whole thing, I like literally can't do it. I can't. Like it's just weird. I think it's the whole thing's stupid too. And
It is.
because my whole thing is like, I'm down to like go out and party and stuff, but I just want to like hang out. Like I love going out and hanging out with all my friends and like. Even their friends bring over friends. I like hang out with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
I even love I do like hanging out with people I even don't know when we're all having fun and stuff. But most people, I would say like 90% of people, like there's always this added like, oh, like who is this person? Like, do I want to hook up with them? Do I like them? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like that never like processes through my brain when I'm like hanging out with people and meeting new people. That's not what I think of. I'm usually just like, are they cool? Like, do I want to hang out with them?
Yeah.
I feel like most people are like, do like I want to hook up with them? Do I want to like date them? And then that's not my first thought, but I feel like that's usually most people's thought. So usually that's why it like freaks me out because I feel like other people are like, oh, do I want to hook up with this dude? And I'm like, I just don't stop. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It literally freaks me out. Like gives me so anxious. Like I just hate it. I hate it.
Like, you can't even just hang out with someone to just be like, let's listen to some, like, cool music and have a couple drinks. Like, it's gotta be, like, this whole, like,
that's what
who's gonna fuck who?
Yeah, I know what, like, I want to be like, hey, let's just hang out, listen to music, and, like, have some drinks. Like, I don't care. And then, like, I mean, yeah, maybe down the road if we, like, find out we're, like,
something
cool.
could come up, you know?
Yeah, but, like, the whole, like, immediately just, you know, we meet and, like, maybe we, like, fuck tonight or whatever. Like, I can't do that. I really can't. It just freaks me out. I don't know why. Like, it just, I don't like it. I don't like the whole idea or the process of that. It's weirds me out. It just seems weird to me.
It's
I don't know.
disingenuine,
I just
too.
feel like most people are like all about that, girls and guys. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and like I don't know. I can't get into it. I can't get into the whole like one night or just meeting someone and immediately talking to them in a dating way. Like,
Yeah.
even people that I've like known and kind of hooked up with, I've known them for a long time. And then eventually we kind of talk and then it turns into something. I've never like, other than that one time that I was telling you,
Yeah.
it's never been like excuse me, sorry. It's never been like an immediate like hookup thing.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's just a weird thought to me.
We are back from the pee break, and we should probably just close this one out because we've had a good episode.
That was a good episode, yeah.
Had some good talks, some good times, some good snacks.
The number one
some good
fan.
laughs.
The number one
We have
fan
the
was
number
here.
one
the
fan.
number one We're Not Friends fan was here. So if you're a big enough fan, you might make it on the show.
Yeah.
Probably not, because it's just me, but it's fine.
Honestly,
I know, that's what I'm saying. Probably not, but there's a possibility.
if you're a good fan, we'll bring you on, but like you won't compare to Anna.
Yeah.
It'll-
It's still gonna
you
be
know.
a piece of shit, so it's like whatever.
Exactly. But yeah, Anna, do you have any parting words for the fans of We're Not Friends? Anything you want future fans to know?
We're gonna be doing
I'm
this for
the
a while.
OG
We're gonna be
fan.
Yeah, we're gonna be grinding this out. So years from now, people are gonna go back and listen to this, and they're gonna hear you.
I want Sydney to explain why I'm the OG fan, so everyone understands why.
Right now or later?
Whenever. Just
Right
needs to
now?
Right
happen.
now.
She's the OG fan because when we were planning this, I was telling her about it. I asked her to follow our Twitter and Instagram, and we put out the first couple episodes, and she was actually at work because she had this really cool job for the summer, and she was at work, and she was texting me the whole time she was listening. She was like, "Oh my god, this is so funny. I'm like crying at work. I'm trying not to like laugh so my coworkers here."
We said her name during.
Yeah, we name dropped her in like the first
and
episode. She was like,
"Whoa!"
I got name dropped, holy shit, and yeah.
Yeah, it's
Anna's
one of those
the
things,
OG
like,
fan.
Literally, I just remember Sydney screenshotting me the text message. She's like, "We have fans!" And it was like, you going like, "This is hilarious!" And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, even one person, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
And knowing that Anna has Brett, and Brett, you know, he's a trooper.
He
will-
listens to it too.
He gave us a listen. He
Damn.
loves us.
I
He's the king of
Like I
kings.
said, I'm happy that anybody listens to it, honestly. Literally, even if it's 3 people, 2 people, you know, like we said, we had the first one, we had 30 people listen to it. That's insane.
Yeah, that was
So-
insane. We
Oh.
had 50 streams after a minute. It was like 50 something
Did we
streams.
really?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah, 50 was like
I
the
didn't
clock
even tell
out.
you that. Jesus
didn't know that either.
Christ.
Yeah, 50 streams, and then it was like, yeah, it was crazy.
I do have some parting words, and I'm gonna not really self promotion, but promotion of my fiance. If you like podcasts and you like video games and film and stuff, his podcast is called The Fan Men Show. I don't know
Well,
where it's
okay,
at,
well, you
but he
should-
has a WordPress called thefanmen.wordpress.com.
So we should tell him to like collab with us. We can go on his. You can come on us.
Yes.
That
Brett,
whole
th-
kind of thing.
Hey, Brett, the next time you're here,
March. Well, I mean November, but you'll probably be home for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
But you know, we might have to like do some Skyping, do some FaceTime. We'll have 2 mics soon. It'll be
I've
pretty
never
dope.
FaceTime, so I don't know what to do.
We'll pop his fucking FaceTime cherry, and you can be on our show. We'll be on yours. We'd love to promote. We'd love to collab. It'll be dope. I've played a couple of video games. Ben's played a couple of video games. It'll be
I've played more than a
Fire
couple,
is
so I
fun.
have more to talk about during the video game.
fine. I'll talk
conversation.
about TV shows. Ben, does that make you feel better about yourself?
Well, I have a lot to talk about during TV shows as well. I'm just saying.
So anyway, shout out to Brett. What is it again?
The Fan Men Show.
The Fan Men Show.
thefanmen.wordpress.com.
Thefanmen.wordpress.com. Check it
I
out.
hope that's right.
We'll find out, won't we?
If not, just throw it into Google.
let us
If you
know
see
and
Brett's
we'll-
name,
we'll
you'll
say
know it's
something
him.
for the next
Oh, there's an
episode.
Instagram and a Twitter and a Facebook now too. As of
We
last
will
night.
we will put them on our Instagram and our Twitter once we figure out what it all is. Don't worry, guys.
Shout ours out though, because we haven't said it. We usually say it at the top of the show.
Oh yeah. If you
So-
guys, hey, thanks for listening. But also, if you want extra content, you want to know everything that's going on.
We need to release those extra conversations that we do.
Yes.
We just need to put those out. Like, we should do one, like,
the
every
off weeks.
episode and then just put them out on YouTube only. And just,
Yeah,
like,
there we go.
little tiny 15, 20-minute conversations that we have sometimes.
Yep.
Just only put those out on
On
YouTube.
the off weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, on the off weeks.
Yeah. That's what we need to start doing. Because we have, like, we did, like, one, and I think we started to do a second one. So we just need to, like, release those little mini episodes.
Yeah. So,
But only on YouTube, not put them on iTunes, because we should like reserve
Yeah.
that for like the full-on episodes. But then on the YouTube, we can put the small
Yeah.
ones.
So we will try to get you guys some mini segments. Thanks for getting us over 50 followers on Instagram.
Oh, and next time you hear this, we'll be having 2 mics up in this bitch.
2 mics for double the sound quality.
So I'm not gonna sound like shit during
double
it.
the sexy whispers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sound like shit, and I'll have my own mic to work with. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be fresh. We're adding production value. It's gonna be sick.
Anything for the fans, guys.
So get ready for that. We real about this. We serious about this shit, man. We coming up in here hot. We coming up in here fresh. We coming up in here, ready to do the damn thing.
And if you ever have any ideas, any questions, comments, concerns, you can hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, or at our Gmail. Twitter is we're_not_friends. Instagram is We're Not Friends Podcast, and Gmail is We're Not Friends Podcast @gmail.com. So make sure to send all of those things to us so we can hear them, make them for you, and give you that fresh, hot content.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. So thank you, Anna, for being on this show.
Thanks for having me. Peace the fuck out.
And that's the end.
Wow,
Done.
that's it right there.
Done.
Thank you guys. We love you so much.
Later.
Peace out, boy.